Good evening and welcome you all. Today, in continuation to Fusion Technical and OIC series conducted by Triotech. This is the second demo in continuation to the series. In the last demo, guys, we have majorly discussed what this course is all about. What are the offerings that we are offering? Okay, while you are participating into this particular course, what this course is meant for, what are the different tools and technologies that we are offering that you will be learning as part of this particular course curriculum. What are the different sort of work opportunities? What are the kind of support that as a Triotech Institute will be providing during and after the course? What will be the placement benefit? What are the earning potential for this particular course? Okay, all these basic things that we have discussed. The first demo was more of like it was a more of what we are offering and what this course is all about and what are the content of the course. It is something to walk you through what is our working methodology, how we are going to conduct the training, what will be the timings, and all these benefits that we have discussed. Okay. Today, guys, we will be discussing more into so that one of the actual topic that we will be starting slowly and steadily, so that I will be touching base with one and each of the technology little, and so that you will get an understanding how and what we are going to cover as part of this particular course curriculum. Okay. So guys, as we have seen that almost 50 plus different tools, techniques, technologies, terminologies that we are going to learn about this particular course curriculum, we have already called this out that, okay, there are certain outliners or the things that we are not going to cover because these are not to be considered as a fusion technical training. So these are not tools that will be under the fusion technical, but these are the things that are apart from the Fusion Technical. There has been separate tools that has been there in the market for different purpose. And each of these tools itself is a vast subject area. That is the reason we are not covering this as part of this particular training. Okay. Guys, the main advantage and the best utilization of this particular training is that it will make you a consultant who should be claiming themselves as a minimum 2 to 3 years of experience. That sort of extensive real-time project experience and the knowledge into the real-time scenarios across different tools we will be offering. Second thing, guys, if you have any doubts or something, I would like to reiterate that this particular training is technical training. We will be not building any tool as a part of technical. Everybody who might be from the technical or non-technical background, if we talk a term like technical, you might be thinking that, okay, lot of coding, lot of new things that we are going to build. No, it is something that there is a software, how to use that particular software. That software can be used by the functional people. There has been certain tools or the techniques for the functional people to perform those jobs. The same work can be done by the technical people using different tools. Why technical people are being involved? Because suppose a functional person is doing one particular job. Suppose somebody is supposed to create a purchase order into the Fusion environment under supply chain module. So the functional user or the end user who's going to create a purchase order, they have to log in into the application, go to that navigator, go to that particular screen, open that particular screen, create the details. The user will open the form, fill in all the details into that particular form, click save, submit, next, and close the transaction. That's how the purchase order has been created. Similar way, a new invoice to be generated. Same way, suppose you have to terminate the person or hire a person. So as an end user, if you're supposed to hire 1 or 2 or 5 person in a day, that's okay. You can do it from front end. You can go and navigate the things and do the things. But in case the work is that you have to terminate 1000 employees in a day. Okay. How you will do as an HR? If you go to the application, suppose these are the fields. Suppose let's consider this is the form. In this form, these 20 fields are there. Out of these 20 fields, maybe 6 fields are mandatory, spread across the form at different places. So the HR will log in, they will come here, they might click onto some buttons might be there, then they get this form, they open this particular form and fill these particular details for different fields, click next, save, submit. So suppose the HR has to terminate 1000 employee, it will not be appropriate for the HR to perform bulk operation from front end one after another. Okay. So guys, that is the purpose. That is the reason that, okay, technical consultant has been involved and they have been asked for that, okay, we require a technical support to expedite the thing, to bring more accuracy. Because the reason is, suppose there has been 5 HR in the department, they will distribute 200 records. They can do that work. But since they are going to do all the task manually, they have to enter the details. There could be high chances that they could miss certain fields, or they could pass on the details. Some misspelling is there, some typo error has happened, and that's how it will corrupt the system, or the transaction will not end it up the way it has supposed to be ended up. Okay, that is the reason, guys. The functional consultant can do the work, but the same work can be done by the technical consultant. So the technical consultant can be called to create the invoices, to create the receipt, to create the purchase order, to add multiple suppliers into the organization. So the main work of a technical consultant. Okay, why technical consultant is required? To do bulk operations. Okay, the same work which can be done by the functional person, but they can do 1, 2, 10, 15, 50 records. But in case you have to terminate 5,000 employees, that is a bulk operation that you are supposed to do. For that, technical persons are required. If the technical persons are doing that work, guys, what the advantages will be bring into the system? That advantages is like more accuracy. Okay, less chance of errors. Reduce time. So what can be done? Suppose if 5 particular functional users is supposed to terminate 1,000 employee, and they may take 3 days of time, the technical person can terminate 5,000 employee maybe in 3 hours of some sort of tools and techniques that we are going to learn. Using that, they can do that work into 2 to 3 hours or 5 hours maximum. Okay, that is the main advantage. And in addition to that, guys, the main work that the technical consultant has been asked for, guys, everything that we are going to use into this particular software, it is like software is already there, and we have to generate some sort of transactions. What are those transactions? In terms of HCM, in terms of human capital management, we have already discussed that those sort of transactions are supposed to hire the employee, terminate the employee, these sort of transactions, these sort of actions that we can perform. In human capital management, if we talk about human capital management as a module, we will be hiring the employee, we will be promoting an employee, transferring the employee. The existing employee might be taking up certain leaves, they can submit their claims, they can submit their attendance. The manager will be reviewing the performance of the employee. Same way in supply chain, suppose as a company you might be buying some items from your supplier, so you might be creating new suppliers into the system, updating any existing supplier, updating the details of the supplier, creating different items into your organization, selling some item. So if Amazon is selling some item, what has happened? Amazon is supposed to generate the invoices. If the item has been sold, invoices has been generated, so customer should need to pay. In case customer is supposed to pay, then in the financial module we have something called different sort of transactions, that to receive the payment, to that is account receivables, to make the payment to our supplier, that is account payable. Similarly, CM is there, that is cash management, then project management. All these different sort of different modules, sub modules are there, which will be going to do, which is going to do with these sort of transactions. Okay, now guys, going ahead, what we are going to basically learn about the application is how to access the Fusion application. What is the Fusion application? You will be provided with the username and password. We will be using the username, password, and URL for the application. So guys, once you get enrolled, the admin will be sharing you the username, password, and the access link for this application. This access link will be available. That is a 100% available instance with all the features and all the capabilities about the tool. So once we log in into the application, guys, we will be covering very basic about the navigations and the basics of the application. So we will be landing into this particular screen. Okay. At this particular screen, guys, this is the home page of the application. And in case we have to navigate, first of all, this particular right hand side, there is setting and actions. Here it will tell that which is the person, who's the user to that has logged in. That will be listed as PJ. My name is Piyush Jain, who has logged in. The initials are coming here. Okay. Then this is the home icon. This black strip that you are able to see, this is nothing but this is the global strip. You go to any of the page, any of the navigation, you will be finding this particular global strip. Under this particular global strip, these buttons are common. These are the global buttons which are available. The first button that we will be getting to know is the home button. So if you're standing into one page as having sub page to sub page, and suppose you have to come back to the home page, what we are supposed to do, we are supposed to click onto this home and it will bring us to the home pages. Okay, this home page is there, guys. And in case, based on the person who has logged in, suppose Piyush Jain is the person who logs in, he has different sort of access, he can perform different sort of functionalities into the system based on the rules, based on the rights and responsibility that this user is holding. Different sort of these tabs will be displayed to the user who logs in. And based on these particular tab, each of these tabs are meant for different applications, different sort of purposes. And under each of these particular tabs, there will be different sort of forms, different sort of, you can say, sub applications will be there that will help the functional user to access these particular pages and do certain sort of data transactions. Okay. Talking about data transactions, guys, entire this particular software is supposed to meant to access different sort of applications, sub applications, modules, forms, to do some sort of data manipulation. Those data manipulation, guys, nothing but the data manipulation is something like either using these particular softwares. Okay, we are going to either do some sort of transactions. Transactions means either we are going to create the data or we will be able to modify the existing data, or we will be deleting the data. And in addition to that, we might be searching any existing data. So guys, this is the different sort of transactions that are possible. Only these 4 different sort of transactions are possible from any of the software. In the database management system, we used to call it as a DML operations. What that means? Data manipulation operation. That to something to manipulate the data. Manipulate the data in something. Creating a data means suppose we have to hire the employee. Okay. Modifying the data may be that there is already a data. There is a person, that person is working as a manager, and we are modifying the data to promote the employee as senior manager. Okay. Deleting the data. Suppose what has happened, there is an employee, this employee is having a phone number details. Okay. Phone details are there. So this particular person has uploaded 2 mobile numbers into the system. Okay. And this particular person has claimed that, okay, one of the mobile he is not using, so he can delete the mobile details. And guys, in case in case we are supposed to either modifying existing data or delete any existing data, what we are supposed to do? First, we have to search the data. Until unless we have not been able to search the data, then there is no point that we can either modify or delete the data. Okay. So guys, all these screens that we have meant for, that we are learning from the perspective, from the functional user perspective, we should be able to do these sort of data manipulation. So if we talk about that, okay, first basic screen, very basic screen that is very common, that will be useful for human capital management, supply chain management, as well as for the financial management. That is the person management screen. Here, what has happened in the Fusion application, every individual, every living individual is being considered as a person, whether he's an employee, he's an ex-employee, he's a retired person, an intern to the company, or he's a supplier to the company, or he's a customer to the company. Every person, every living organism should be considered as a person. Okay. And since the particular person is to be considered as a person, there is a screen that we can access. That screen is the person management screen. Under that person management screen, guys, what we can do, we can do similar sort of data manipulation operations, that we can search the employee or we can search the person, and we can modify different sort of fields of that particular person, or we can even delete those particular person. Okay. Guys, everything in this particular application that we are going to learn, everything is a internet based, everything is a cloud based. Okay, we does not need to install any software, or we does not need to have any tool installed into our laptops or something. Everything is onto the internet through the username and URL that has been provided. So guys, in this particular application, all the screens for different business objects. Business object means, guys, each of the activity that we will be performing. Suppose if we say for HCM, employee is a business object, or employee or person is a business object. Okay. For financial, we can say invoices is one of the business object, invoice and receipts. For supply chain management, we can say items, requisitions. These are nothing but different sort of business object. So guys, for each of these particular item, there must be certain navigation available that we will be learning during the part of this particular course. As slowly and steadily we will be learning to extract the data or to populate the data through the technical tools. We will be learning these techniques and these navigations of these screens as well. So all the screens has been designed into a same pattern to provide the uniformity of the application. The application supposed to search the person is, there has been two sections. First is the search section and second is the result section. Under the search section, there will be certain fields available. Based on those particular fields, we will be able to search. We will be able to search for one particular things based on the criteria that we are going to pass. Suppose if we say that one of the field we are going to enter 1008, something like that, and click on to search. So guys, here what has happened, based on the details that you are going to enter, these are the sort of parameters we will be passing in certain details, and click on to search and list down the details. If we found the details, that will be listed into the search result section. In case you put certain wildcard like 100%, so all the persons which are having a person number starting with 100, and after that 8, 9, 10 different, all these things will be listed down there. Okay. So guys, in the result section, you could see the results that this particular employee might be having more than 100 fields, but at the result section, only key 5-6 details about this particular person, that what is the person number, in which department, which location, whether this person is an employee or a retired professional, or what are the details associated with this employee. Only basic details will be provided. Okay. Here guys, one few more things about to be learned about from these functional screen is, suppose in this result section we find the details, there are certain things called view. In this view, you want to sort the data, you can sort by clicking onto this, you can sort and resort the data. You want to reorder the columns, click onto this, you will be getting an option to reorder the columns. These 6 columns you can reorder. These columns has been listed down, whatever the columns which has been listed, you can select any of the columns. Suppose this is the department column and we want this department column after to the location, We will do that and click OK. And we will see that, okay, department column will be moved to after the location. Okay. In case you click onto this format, resize column, that is also possible, but that all these features which are available into view and format, guys, that are available. If you click onto any of these headings, these two small tilted icons will come. These small icons will come. If you click onto this, these also will help you to sort the data. If I click onto this, it will, first time you click into this will sort the data into ascending order. Second time you click, it will sort the data into descending order. Okay. In addition to that, guys, wherever the result section is there, most of the things you see, the results will be displayed into some sort of tabular format. Okay. In case you want to extract the data, as a technical consultant, we will be learning tools and technologies to extract the data. What are those tools that we are going to learn? That tool is BIP report, HCM extract, OTBA report. These are the tools that we are going to learn. But apart from that, guys, Oracle has also provided manual way to extract the data, that is search for the data and click here export to Excel. Once you click onto this, based on your search criteria, whatever the data which has been listed down here, that will be extracted into your Excel format. Okay, so guys, sometimes the functional person needs to extract the data to do some sort of data manipulation, to understand and to do the data reconciliation. They always does not get back to the technical users. They can search the things and they can even leverage small utilities that has been provided there to see the details. Okay, getting about more details about the application. Suppose this is the user which is coming as a hyperlink. Let's consider this is a person, or this is the invoice, this is a purchase order, this is the supplier name. We can click onto this and it will take us to the more detailed pages. Okay, that will list down all details about this particular person called Priyanka. What all are his employment details, what all are his or her personal details, his salary details, for different purpose. Once we click onto this, we will be landing into one particular screen. That screen will list down majority of the details about this particular Priyanka as the user or a person. In addition to that, there could be sub details or sub pages associated with Priyanka that can also be accessed. Let's wait. Once this page will open, I will demonstrate and explain those things also. Meanwhile, this will be opening up, guys. Let's understand what is the basic purpose. Why is it required? Why it is very much required that we as a technical consultants are required to extract the data. Okay. Now let's take an example. Let's take an example. There is a company. Suppose there is a FMGC company. Okay. They are selling some sort of, they are into some food products. Okay, and they have implemented Fusion as a application. So if they have implemented Fusion as an application, they might be using some sort of tools. They might be selling some sort of products. So suppose this company is operating into India. So what has happened? If they are running their business, they might need to be reporting directly to some sort of government entity. Suppose, okay, suppose they might be reporting to one government entity, that is Food Corporation of India. Okay, so this company is selling the products, but Food Corporation of India wants to get the list of products that they are involved into, the price of all the details as per the government subsidiary which has been declared, the items that they have been sold, what is the manufacturing date, there could be multiple things that the government can ask any of the organization. Like, okay, you are creating a honey, give me the details about the honey. What is the lab details? What is the quantity? In which quantity you are selling? Okay, what is the your packaging plant details? Anything anyone can require for. If you're talking about the human capital management perspective, okay, maybe there is a Ministry of Human Capital and Management, Ministry of Human Capital Management India. This government entity wants that, okay, you are running the businesses. Okay, please send us the details of your, what is your sex ratio of your company, how many males and how many females are working into the company. So does the functional consultant need to go into the application, search for each of the employee and open their details and check whether these are male or female and track these details into one Excel, take account and send to that particular entity? No. If that is the case, the companies like TCS who are employing almost 7 to 8 lakh employees, they will be never able to provide those details, right? So that is the reason a technical consultant is required who should be able to support for the data extraction activities. The data extraction is required to share across companies, across different applications, across government entities. Suppose there is a taxation department, Indian taxation department. Okay, you are the company, you have employed maybe 100 employees, and as per the Indian tax rule, if any company who is having suppose a turnover of over 5 crores or have employed more than 50 employees, they have to deduct the PF for the employee. Okay, so this taxation department, or there is a PF department of India, they want to monthly basis, they want that, okay, what is the PF that you have deducted for your employees, and that report has to be submitted to the PF department of India. So guys, for these business purposes, to run and manage the BAU operations, you have to create the reports or you have to extract the data. Suppose there is an Amazon is the company. Okay, Amazon is selling more than 1 billion products. Okay, just a second. I'm I'm losing the control of just a second. Not sure, my icon is not operational at the moment. Guys, just be into the call. Let me restart my machine. I am not sure. My icon is got freezed. Anything if you want to tell, please speak. I will perform those actions. I'm not sure why this plus icon is coming. Something I have pressed wrongly. Lokesh, you want to say something?
You can rejoin once. Okay.
Yes, yes. I will be just closing and rejoining. Okay, just be on to the meeting.
Yeah, sure.
Now it is working. Okay.
Oh, fine.
So suppose guys, what has happened? Amazon is the company who's selling across 1 billion products. Okay. And there is a marketing and sales head of the Amazon. Marketing and sales head of Amazon is visiting India. So he might be visiting India just not for a trip. He must be there for generating the business to see what are the main potential areas, what are the products that could be required by the Indian market, which are the new products that he can launch. So before coming here, he might have asked the team of consultant, or he may ask that, okay, give me the products, give me the top 100 products that has been sold in Indian market, right? And what is the total number of products for each of top 100 product? What is the total cost of the sale of those 100 products in India? What is the market share of those particular product specified to India, North India, South India, like that? So all this data he might be requiring to build their strategy to understand the market. So the person cannot go into the application and search for each of the product one by one and see whether this product has been sold in India or not, whether this product has been sold in North India or not, right? There has been huge sort of transactions are happening into Amazon. Amazon is a global platform. N number of customers are buying N number of products. All these transactions which are happening into the application, these are getting recorded somewhere. They are getting recorded into databases. And to do some analysis, to do understanding, to process the data, to share across the information across government entities, we must be providing some sort of techniques to extract the data. And those techniques are different tools which has been offered by Oracle. Some of those tools are common and some of those tools are specific to the modules. All those tools we will be learning. Okay, like this, suppose if we click onto this, if we click onto this, we will be landing into a additional screen that will list down all the details about this particular employee. Guys, there may be some internet issue at my end, otherwise generally it will not take that much time. Apart from that, guys, before we look into the functional aspect, there are certain other aspects that I would like to discuss about, that is data and information. Guys, if I show you these numbers, okay, just blank numbers, and I did not specify anything about these numbers, then these numbers are meaningful. So data is always data is something which is meaningless. Okay, this, if I am writing like this, you could not be able to conclude that, okay, whether this is the uh, amount that each kid is having as their pocket money, this is the age of an individual, this is the marks of an individual, this is the marks of 5 different students. So while the functional user is making different sort of transactions, these transactions are going to be getting performed, and these transactions are nothing, guys, just to create a data. Okay, different sort of data are getting prepared, and while these data entries are getting done to create the business object, to modify the business object, or to delete the business object, what is happening, once these data has some meaningful purpose, that will become information. So data is something which is meaningless, through which we cannot conclude anything. But information is something that we can process. That is the process data. That is something that makes certain sort of sense about the data. Okay, guys, if you have little background about any of the programming or any of the IT background, you must be aware that, okay, that data should be having a data type. If I say name, can I say the name of a person could be -1? No, because name is a string value. Name could be Piyush Jain. Name could not be -1. Or if I say age of a person, can I say the age of a person is X? I cannot say, because X is a variable while age is a number. Age is a number, suppose like this. So what has happened, once we are representing the data, data must be having some sort of associated data type. The main data types that we will be understanding, very basic things, is that data should be represented as a data type, that is a varchar or a string. Like Piyush is a string, or int or number, that 34 is a number. Or suppose I will say date of birth. Can I say that the date of birth of Piyush is something called happy birthday? No, we cannot say, because date of birth is a date which should be some date into a format called, suppose we can say suppose this is the date. So what I mean to tell here is that, okay, each of the data that we will be using, internally that data must be having some data type associated. Whether that data is a string type, data may be a number type, or data may be a date type. Okay, just a second, guys. Fine, guys. So our instance is up. So from the functional perspective, these are the similar sort of screens across different modules. Once we search for any item, we will be getting into the hyperlink. Once we click onto those hyperlinks, we will be landing into these sort of screens that will having further more details about these particular forms. So as I was referring to, suppose somebody is supposed to hire the employee, and to hire the employees, this is the page, and this page might be having 500 fields. Out of those 500 fields, maybe 100 fields are mandatory that the user should need to fill to hire the employee. So if the person has to hire 100 employees in a day, it will not be efficient for them to go and scroll through these pages and fill all the details in one time. Okay, one or two pages, one or two employees the HR can hire. But if 100 employees are supposed to be hired, at that time they require a technical help. They need somebody who can expedite the things to hire 100 or 100 people at one time. In addition to that, suppose if we talk about the employee details, as I said, the basic details about the employee will be listed. In addition to that, if there has been some additional pages, additional information about the employee, so here in the right hand side we have task. In the entire Fusion application, if we go to any of the business component, that may be having the basic screens, and that may be having a sub screens listed down under the task. So suppose the personal details of the employee, where the name, particular name, their phone number, their gender, their marital status, their personal details will be captured into this particular page called person form. Their salary details will be captured into change salary details. Their absence detail, if the employee is supposed to apply for any absence and the HR or the manager should need to come and check what are the leave balance of the employee, whether the employee has already applied the leaves, whether the employee is already on a leave, all these details will be captured into absence forms. And guys, in the forms itself, Fusion is providing loads and loads of data opportunities to be captured. Like under the person, there is a personal information that talks about the address and the name details, national identifier like your PAN card details, your Aadhaar card number, your biological informations, legislative informations, okay, phone details, em employee email details, all these details can be captured. In addition to that, if you have been working with the organization wants to capture your dependent details, so we can capture your contact details like your son, your spouse, your mother, parents details we can enter here. Document details like if you have been hired with the organization wants to capture your passport details, your driving license details, your resume, your salary slips, last employment proof, all these details can be uploaded here. In case the employee is a disabled employee and there has been some certificate issued, some health certificate has been issued, and those details has been captured by the employer, these details can be captured here. So that's how the functional people can play around and enter different sort of data and the technical people will be required to extract those data for the meaningful purposes as and when required through the tools and technologies that has been offered through these tools. Okay, we will be learning one by one each of these technologies. BIP and OTBI are the common tools that once we learn these particular tools, these will be helpful and global across all the applications. Okay, all the modules we will be learning and using these particular tools. Clear? So now guys, starting with the basics, like if we will be working onto these things and the how the flow will be there. Like suppose here you could see that we are going to learn these tools and technologies. These tools and technologies are specific for the purpose to customize the application. Suppose the functional user is coming and creating some data here. Okay, here certain fields are there and they want to populate the data. What they want that, okay, as per my company, I want to make middle name as a mandatory field, or I am not capturing any middle name. I don't want to show this middle name. I want to hide this particular field. So these are called, guys, these are called different sort of customization. Suppose the requirement is the person is being identified as an employer number, that is employer number heading is coming here. Okay, but what the client says that, okay, we does not use to call it as an employer number, we used to call it as an employee ID, or we used to call it as a person number. So using those particular tools as a technical consultant, we have to support the business to customize, to change the look and feel of the application, change the verbiage of the headers, change the order of these particular fields, make certain fields mandatory, hide certain fields, make certain fields as a default as a value. So all these things will come into the work area of a technical consultant who will be an expert of customization and personalization of the application. Okay. Same way, guys, as suppose we are going to add a salary for an employee. Suppose HR is coming and going to a change salary screen, and there suppose the employee is already having a salary of 10,000 USD per month, and now manager or HR is changing their salary from 10,000 to 15,000. Okay, so what has happened? Suppose there is a business rule. The client or the company says if there is a salary change which is less than 20%, it should be automatically saved and approved. But in case the salary change is more than 20%, then it should need to be approved by HR, and then it should be followed by an approval by the HOD of that department. So guys, suppose the salary is 10,000 and manager is going to change the salary of an employee from 10,000 to 15,000. The salary changes more than 20%. So that is the reason we have to customize the application in such a way as per the client requirement that, okay, these sort of transactions should be going to be reviewed and approved by the HR. Once HR will approve it, the transaction will go to the HOD. HOD will review and approve it. Once both the approvers will approve the transaction, then only it will be saved and saved, and the transaction will be committed into the system. And that's how the employee salary will be changed from 10 to 15,000. Okay, so guys, that's how these are the tools that we will be learning. BPM approvals is the tool that we will be learning through these particular course. Okay, and BIP and OTBIs are the basic tools that we will be starting with. And as we discussed that we will be covering all the prerequisites and all the foundations will be provided. So BIP is the learning platform to build the reports, and here the technology, the language that we are going to use, that is SQL as the basic language that we are going to use in the. So we will be learning the SQL from the scratch. Okay, these are the things that we are going to learn from the scratch into the SQL. Just a second. We will be learning the select statement, how to write the select statement, how to fetch all the columns of a table, different tables. As yesterday someone was asking, like there could be multiple transactions happening into the system. These transactions must be saved into some backend tables. What are those tables? Do we need to remember all the tables? No. We have the research documents published by Oracle. we should need to refer those things, and we will be a technical consultant working in collaboration with functional people. We will be working in collaboration with the technical leads and the architect. They will be passing on the right sort of information to us. Based on that, we will be building our SQL queries and building our reports to extract the data as and when required. Okay. Similarly, guys, as we said that, okay, these are the tools to extract the data. Same way, if the user is saying that, okay, we cannot create the data, we have almost 100 people that are supposed to be transferred from Delhi to Bangalore. HR should come here and they can go to the employment screen. They can search for the employee. They can search and edit the employee, and they can do the changes of their location. But if that is supposed to be for huge set of numbers, then HR cannot do. At that time, what has happened? Technical consultants are required, and they are supposed to do the bulk data operations to create the data or update the data. So for that particular purpose, we will be learning and using the technologies. These are the main technologies that we will be learning. Okay. And guys, why I'm explaining all these front end related thing is, suppose we have been asked that, okay, get the list of all the employees which has been hired in last month. Okay, so if we are preparing a report, preparing our SQL query and build our report, so as a functional, as a technical consultant, we have to do the unit testing of our report. So if we have considered that, okay, this 1008 is one our sample employee, and we have to extract their particular personal details, their email details, and their phone number details, and their gender details, first name, last name. These are the things that we are supposed to extract. So once we build the report and extract the data, we will do the cross validation that whatever the data that we are getting into our report is available into the front end. That ensures that, okay, whatever the code that we have written is working as expected, and the whatever the data which is shown in the front end is being visible at the backend tables also. Okay, so suppose here I want to change my phone number. How the functional user and as a technical consultant also, suppose you want to test that, okay, you are supposed to get the gender details and marital status details, but in your report you are not getting. So you will come and search and validate that, okay, you are not getting that data because that data is not available into the system. So you can come and prepare your data, come here and click on to correct. Once you click on to edit and correct, what you will get? You will get this particular page into the editable format. Here we can select that, okay, this particular person is female and she is marrying soon, suppose, and click OK. That's how we will save the things. Once we save the things, we are supposed to submit the things. That's how the changes will be committed into the system. In case there is no workflows attached, that it does not require any approvals, it will be saved. In case there is a workflow required, it will go to a approval management. Okay. So guys, in case it will go for any approval management, we have heard that, okay, wherever we are standing, this is the home page. Once we click onto this home page, we will be landing back to the base home page. We will be coming out of the any of the page and landing into this home page. Okay, in case the approvals are there, then this bell icon, every user who logs into the system, they can see this bell icon, and this bell icon will be showing some number 2, 3, 4 based on the notifications, based on the information that are supposed to be published to this particular user. Suppose this user will click here, he will see that, okay, there are certain pending items that requires their confirmation, that there is certain job has been created and that job is being created by this user, and this requires some sort of approval. So there is a confirm or approve or reject button is coming, that they are supposed to click to approve the things. Okay, we will be learning and designing all these workflows, but this is the button where we will be seeing all these notifications, so the functional user can come and approve the transactions. Okay, this is the global search button, guys. Anything that you would like to search into the system, suppose this is the value that we want to search, 1008, whether this 1008 is a employee or it's a supplier or it's a purchase order or an invoice, any reference 1008, if you put it here, if we found anything, that will be listed down there. Okay. And one very important thing is, guys, suppose you have to, as a daily work, you have to go and navigate, you logs in, you have to come here, you have to go to inside this particular page, then under that there is another page that you have to go inside. So you does not want to do all that navigation. You want certain page that you're regularly accessing, those pages you want to make it as a favorites, that you does not need to navigate. Everything that you can see here into this particular page, that is the home page, the same thing is available into this navigator. Once you click into the navigator, based on the user who logs in, based on the access level that the person is having, since this person that I have logged in, I have an admin access, that is the reason I'm getting the rows related to the procurement, for payroll, for risk management, for sales. All the roles are there for my user. That is the reason that many sections and subsections are there, like supply chain is there, payables are there, fixed assets are there. Okay. But generally the person who logs in, based on the roles that the person is holding, only those sections will be visible. And under those sections, if they click, there will be some subsections. Under those subsections also, there may be certain more subsections. If you click here, the same sort of pages are listed here, but there is a limit, only 520 pages can be listed. But if based on my access, I have so many pages. So here, if we click on to show more, all the pages under these sections will be listed under the show more like this. Okay. Any of the page that you would like to access at a regular level, regular time. So guys, you does not need to log in and then go to my client group, click on to show more, and then you need to scroll to look out for those pages. You want to directly access those particular pages. What you can do, you can make those pages as a favorites. Suppose I'll show you any of the pages. Suppose any of the pages has a hire an employee, or under this there is a page called this person management page itself. Once I go to that particular page, once I click onto this particular page, this page will open up. And once I'm onto this particular page, I want to access this page at regular interval. There is a star to make this page as a favorites. Once I click onto this star, it will give you all the recent pages that you have recently accessed. So you can access these pages directly here. Or otherwise, if you click onto these favorites, you will be able to add this into the page as a favorite page. Since I have added this as a favorite page, this will be saved as a page, as a search page. Directly you can access. So if you are somewhere else, if I'm at the home, I don't want to navigate to either from navigator or through this particular tiles. Okay. But I can directly go click onto this and go to different pages that I'm interested in, that I have already marked as a favorites, like manage departments. I want to go, I can directly click on to manage department like this, and it will take me to the manage department page. Okay. And as guys, we have discussed that, okay, all the pages has been designed into the same way, that this is the search section, this is the result section. We can search, based on the search we will get the results, based on the results we will be clicking onto that hyperlink to get more details. We have the option to export, we have the option to create certain business object based on the roles that this particular user is having. He has the access to edit the existing things, and he has the access to create the new things. That is the reason these two buttons are available. This particular user is not having the role or access to delete the existing department. That is the reason maybe the delete button is not coming. Okay. Same way, guys, all what we are going to learn about how we can customize this, how we can add our own categories. You can see all these are seeded categories and subcategories, but here there are certain subcategories like test 1, 2, 3. These are nothing but the customization that we have built one report, that report has to be regularly accessible. You are working as a sales representative, okay, or sales manager. daily you have to come and access this particular report that will give you the sales details of the last week that you want to access. So you does not want to go somewhere else to access this report. You just want to log in into the system and directly click into this particular report to access those things. So that is something possible, and we will be learning that through by adding some sort of customization and personalization to our screens. Okay, all these transactions, guys, that we are going to do, suppose hiring an employee, creating a job, creating the invoices, creating a purchase order, everything is being getting recorded into this, so this particular tool. These are what? These are the different sort of transactions happening into this software. And where these transactions are getting saved, if you see, there is a section called tools. At the top, there is a section called tools. Under tools, guys, there is something called transaction console. If you see, we talked about that we will be learning different sort of utilities, set preferences, file import, UCM. All these are different sort of small tools that individually these tools might not be that capable or directly having any impact. But internally, these tools will be very powerful and used by these parent tools. So we will be learning all these utilities. If you see here, if we go there, there is some transaction tools. If you go to the tools, there is a tool called transaction console. What this transaction console will give an access, that all the transactions which are happening into the system. Okay, somebody is trying to create the invoice, somebody is trying to create the purchase order, somebody is trying to create the general, somebody is trying to hire an employee. All these transactions which are happening in our software for the client, those transactions will be listed. As an admin, as a functional consultant, you should be able to track those transactions, whether those transactions has approved or not approved, whether those transactions has failed. If you want to see the failed transactions, by default failed transactions will be listed. If you remove this filter, it will list down all the transactions which are passed or failed. You see, this is the user for which we have added something, right? We have added the gender and marital status. That is the reason for this particular user. What is the process that we did? We did certain changes at the manage person level. Who did those changes? Piyush.j is the user who did those changes, and the status is completed. Because if we did those changes, it does not wait for any approvals. In case we have enabled the approvals, this will go for some approval. To whom it is pending for the approval, that will be listed down here. That suppose it is pending for Kumar for approval. Piyush will do the changes onto user 848 to change his gender, and that request is going to Kumar for approval. Once Kumar will approve it, then only these changes will be reflected into the system. Okay. So guys, we will be learning from the functional aspects also, how to track the transactions. And as a technical or a functional consultant, while you are working into actual projects, what sort of different scenarios, what sort of support tickets that may be coming up. Okay, like suppose the user will say that, okay, I have applied for the leaves. Those leaves has been approved by my manager, but in my system, if I'm going and checking my leave balance is still deducted, is not getting deducted. Or the user has complained that, okay, I have applied for the leave which has been approved by my line manager, but after that I have cancelled my leave. Okay, I have raised the request for my leave cancellation, I have not even gone for the leave, but my leave balance is still not correct, it is still deducting those 3 days, please validate. So you will come and validate here that, okay, and confirm the user that, okay, you have raised the request to cancel your leaves. The request is still pending with your line manager to approve or by the HR manager to approve. Once they approve it, then only the number of leaves will be reverted back to your account. Okay. Clear? The user may have submitted that, okay, I am working on a on-site assignment. As per the company policies, I am allowed to bring my family to on-site. So I have applied for a visa and I am supposed to submit my visa details so that I will be getting the payment for the amount that I have accrued to make the payments to avail the visa for my spouse and kids. I have submitted those claims, but I am still not getting those status updates, or my application is still showing pending because as a consultant, you will come to these screens, track those transactions. How you will track those transactions? All these things we will be learning once we will be learning these particular tools called approval management. How to track the transactions, how to terminate the transactions, how to assign the transactions from Kumar to maybe some different user because Kumar is on leave. Okay. How to search for different transactions based on the process, based on the statuses, based on the who has submitted the transaction. Suppose Piyush.j has submitted the transaction. I put Piyush.j. So once I do that and click OK search, currently it will be showing different transactions, but once I show that, it will show only the transactions which will be submitted by Piyush.j, suppose like that. Okay. So guys, this is the little insight about the application. Okay. Next class will be a actual class that we will be starting the course curriculum. We will be starting the course curriculum with the uh, topics that we have published for the course curriculum. We will be starting with the BIP publisher as the main subject area that we will be starting with, and for that, for the first next two classes we will be focusing on to the very basics of the BIP, and before that whatever the basics and the prerequisites that are required, we will be covering those prerequisites about that. Okay, till now what we have done very basic things like introduction to ERP, different sort of products that Oracle has or different other companies might be having ERP tools. What is the architecture of Oracle Cloud application that we will be explaining further. But we discussed that what is the role of a technical consultant, what are the major work that we are going to do as a data loading or data extraction. We discuss about that there has been certain tools and work that is related to the personalization and customization of the application. We have to cover up and in detail about the security, how the person has logged in into this application, who's the users, how to reset the password, how to add different roles. Like suppose Piyush Jain is the user and he's having so many roles associated with them. That is the reason he is able to access these many pages and these sort of fields and these sort of sections, subsections and tabs. Okay. So how to create the user, how to create the role, how to compare the roles of two users. Suppose two people are working into same department. They are saying that I am a new joinee into this department. I was supposed to work on to create new purchase order. My colleague is having that access while I am not able to have that access. So as a functional consultant, what they are supposed to do, they will come and compare the roles, but the functional consultant does not have that ability. They did not have those admin screen access. So either admin will compare, every company has a separate team that will handle the security of the application, or otherwise as a best practices, every implementation project has certain custom reports built that will list down the user specific role. So the functional person or the business user will access those particular reports, run those reports for those two particular persons, compare their role that okay, the user one is having 6 role and user two is having only 2 roles. So 6 and 2, 4 roles are missing. They will report that okay, you are not able to do that because you are not having these 4 access. Please get the approvals from your manager and then raise a request to get these roles assigned. As a best practice nowadays, guys, what is the best tool that has been used to raise those requests? ServiceNow. Every company is generally using ServiceNow to raise such sort of request. Once that request has been raised and reviewed and approved by the line manager, that request will be assigned to respective team and they will go and add those roles to that user. These are not the technical tasks, but these are very important and useful skills that we must need to work upon. That is the reason as part of this particular training, we will be covering these aspects also. See these things, security, how to understand the security of the application, how to create and manage the user, how to create and manage the roles, creating a custom role, how to define the security of the application. All these things we will be covering as part of this course. Welcome. Next, guys, we will be slowly and steadily, very briefly, we have explained the UI, how the screens will be looked upon, how to access, how to use the global buttons. Okay, as part of once we will be learning about the you can say personalization and customization, we will be seeing that okay, the screen can be displayed into different ways. Like if you are using your tablets, or if you are using your you can say laptops, we can customize our browser in such a way that okay, these tabs will be showing at the top or they might be showing in the left. These are the kind of customization and personalization behavior that the user can set. So in case you want to do those things, we will be learning those particular things. And the main topic starts from here, which is BIP. We will be learning to build the BIP and different components of BIP, different challenges of the BIP, what are the best technologies available to extract the data, comparative analysis of different tools, and the prerequisites that we will be starting into the next class, that is learning SQL from the scratch. Okay. So guys, details about each of the technology and course has been provided. Okay, everything that has been listed, it's a very vast course and it is very hands-on practical demonstrated sort of course that we are having. Okay, so hope you have enjoyed the sessions. If you have any questions and doubts, please feel free, and congratulations to those who has already enrolled and availed the benefit of our early bird. Okay, I request every one of you to get yourself enrolled and reach out to Kumar and admin to avail those particular benefit to have 2 months of extra subscription for the server that roughly cost around 12,000 and 2,000 of early bird discount as well onto the course fees. Okay.
Yeah, hi team. So first of all, thanks for the session, Piyush. So before getting into the questions, so team, whoever has already enrolled, I think you all received the email with the portal access, and you will be added into WhatsApp group, and you will also receive the instance credentials. But whoever are yet to enroll, please reach out to us on 8179563510, or else if you have, I think most of the people have already reached out to us, so please get in touch with us and get yourself enrolled, so that from next class onwards we'll be providing the meeting link only for the enrolled participants, and there will be separate WhatsApp group. Only in that group we'll publish the meeting link. And once you enroll, as I mentioned, you will receive the instance credentials, as well as you will receive the materials and portal access to watch the daily sessions. Yeah, thank you.
Fine, guys. So one thing, guys, like now onwards, we will be actually starting the course. Okay, request everyone to join 5 minutes before the class. We will be strict with our timing. 7 to 8 is the session because everyone is a working professional. They have their own plans, and we would not be delaying the things. We will restricting our sessions for 1 hour strictly. Okay. Talking about any queries, the first query that I have got from you guys, please, it's being very early to explain all these things. We have a complete technology. Everybody, anybody who's from the EBS side, they can correlate. VIP is the technology that will be something similar to XML publisher. Okay. But guys, here nothing like SQL, PLSQL developer or Toad, or we don't have anything that we have into EBS, that going to the form, going to the help menu and see the associated table or associated query. That is not there. If you are from the EBS background, going to OOF page, going to about this page and getting the associated query of that particular table bean, that is not there. Okay, there is a different ways that we will be learning. We have to research for those tables over a period of time. We will be getting an idea. There is a thumb rule, there is a nomenclature how we will be identifying different tables. From Oracle side, for each of the modules, whatever the tables that has been published, that every table is a publicly defined table. So all those tables are available globally. We have to go to the Google, and suppose we check Fusion HCM tables and views. All the tables and associated views has been published by Oracle into an open documentation. If we say Fusion supply chain tables and view, so guys, it is not, there has been lakhs of tables. We cannot remember the things, but we will tell and teach you how to identify their table, how to correlate the table, how to try and test those tables. There is a specific nomenclature about the tables that you will reach to the appropriate table. Like if we talk about HCM tables, these HCM has multiple submodules like absence management, benefit, okay, compensation management, payroll management, global management. So for each module, there has been set of different tables and views. Once you have got the requirement to write the query, okay, you will be coming and you know that, okay, you have been asked to build the report onto the compensation data, onto the salary data. So you will come to the payroll data, come here, search for those tables, identify. Once you click onto each of these tables, you will be getting the details about these tables, what these tables are meant for, and what are these particular columns which are associated with these tables. That's how we will correlate and slowly and steadily understand the table structure and build those particular queries. Okay. And guys, here there is no tool coil, SQL, PL/SQL, Toad. Everything is into UI. We will be using this particular one platform, one tool is only there. Okay. Once we have the Fusion access, through there only we will be accessing the tool, which is analytics tool that we have seen yesterday. Under this, we will be taking up the things. Okay. Over to you guys. Any other questions if you have, please ask. And then we can conclude the session. Ashok, Suresh, Deepika.
So what are the tables you are showing that can be queried in this tool, analytics tool? Is that what you say?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and we don't have to remember any of these tables.
Definitely, you being a technical consultant, you have to remember. But there has 10 lakh tables. You cannot remember those. You cannot be working as to work onto all the things, but you have to practice being as a technical consultant. If you're facing an interview, people will ask you, okay, what you have worked. You will say that, okay, I'm a technical consultant, majorly working into the BIP reports. So their question is that, okay, in which module? You will say, I have been working into supply chain module. So they will ask, okay, what sort of reports that you have worked? You will say that I have been majorly working into the invoices and suppliers related data sort of report. So they will say that, okay, can you name few of the tables of the suppliers? So if you are practicing and building and participating into the assignments that we are providing, 5, 10, 20 basic tables, you will be able to understand and remember, right? Those tables only you need to find. Rest, each table has a link with another table. How you will get to know? We will tell those techniques so that you can correlate and identify and build those query step by step, one on another step. Okay?
Is there a way to find the table behind any page?
No way. And I will explain the reason also for that in the following session. Okay?
Okay, and we are not covering VBCS, is that true?
Yes, it is true. Anything that we have mentioned as excluded, we are not covering.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Piyush, just a quick question on the timing. What you said Monday to Saturday, right?
Yes.
And it's 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. IST.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Piyush, Monday to Friday or Saturday?
That we can work it out if majority of the guys are looking for Monday to Friday. We
Okay.
recommend Monday to Saturday. We will work it out on that.
Okay, thanks.
Piyush, what is the web services we will be looking here? Like we will be using any REST APIs to create
All those
employee.
things, yes, I'll tell you. All these things will be explained. Web services is the topic. You see, there has been different tools, but web services are available to extract the data and to load the data also. Okay.
Okay.
Here, guys, we will be learning what are the different type of web services, what are the basics of the web services. To use the web services, there has been two different ways that we can extract the data. So we
we
will
will
be
be
learning
using this
what is
web service
XML
in
and JSON.
combination with OIC, right?
Yes, this eventually will help you that once we learn about what is data, different data representation techniques, XML, JSON, different sort of web services, REST API, SOAP API, how to test those web services through different sort of freeware tools like SOAP UI and REST API Postman. Then eventually we are using these web services into ICS. Okay.
Okay. Okay. What is ICS?
ICS is one of the major service that has been offered by Oracle Integration Cloud, that stands for Integration Cloud Service.
Okay, fine. Okay.
integration cloud
So
services
by
just
using the
to
OIC, we will be creating any file and keep it in the UCM server. Those kind of scenarios we will be going through.
yes, I'll tell you.
I just want to know the scenarios what will be, because this is the very
I'll tell you those things. Okay. We will be learning all the connections. We will be using common adapters. Okay, we will be using all the available actions. We will be building almost 50 plus integrations. Okay, the scenarios that you are asking for, we will be using FTP, placing the file into the FTP server. Okay, in the FTP, if we talk about files, all the operations related to the file, reading the file, writing the file, deleting the file, copying the file, moving the file, downloading the file, searching the file, all these operations we will be checking. Then playing around the data from the file to ATP, that is the databases. In database, what we can do, insert the data, update the data, delete the data. All these combinations we will be checking. Then we will be using and calling the web services.
And what about FPDI?
I'm coming on that as well. Okay. So for web services, guys, what has happened? There has been web services offered for different purpose, different reasons, like how to call BIP reports, okay, how to send email, how to place the file into UCM server, how to read the file from the UCM server, how to call some sort of processes. Suppose if you are from the EBS background, you know that, okay, there are concurrent program in EBS. Same way, there has been some processes that is there into Fusion application. Those processes directly we need to call from the OIC web services. We need to do some bulk sort of operations, bulk data operations. Okay, for those web services are also there. We will be covering all these scenarios. Guys, one very important thing is there has been web services offered by Oracle. Whatever the web services offered by Oracle, as an OIC consultant, we will be the consumer of those web services. It's not the course that we are building any new web services. Okay, it's not a development of a new web services, but we will be using the web services to perform different sort of work, different sort of requirements that is expected by our end client. Okay.
like can just much more information about fast formulas.
Fast formula is also included, guys. There is a technology called, I'll show you here. This is the technology, HCM extract is the technology that will help you to extract the data. In order to extract the data, there has been multiple ways that you can fetch the columns that you want to extract. And one of the way that we will be learning the real-time scenarios to fetch the columns using the fast formula. Guys, fast formula does not comes into the technical side. Okay, it is the tool that is meant for the functional users, that they will be doing the customization of the calculation of payrolls or accrual rules into the absence, or to define the calculations of the benefits. But these fast formulas has been extended for certain additional tools like HCM extract. We will be covering from basic to the actual real-time scenario using the fast formula in HCM extracts.
Okay, team. Thanks for joining as it's getting late. So let's wind up the session. So whoever yet to enroll, please get yourself enrolled with us today and get the access. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.